If you had your choice, what would your nerd collectible be?
Ninja Turtles.
Like actual turtles?
The action figures, Ninja Turtles. No, the action figures, because I had them when I was a kid, but obviously, you grew out of them and stuff, and
Right.
I would have had everything like that. 'Cause I didn't have the van, but I had the turtle bike with the little trash can sidecar, but I would have the plane or the blimp.
I used to have the toys where they turned into real turtles.
The mutations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They turned them back into
Hey, yep,
turtles.
those just the original ones with the brown weapons. They were like brown. The little pizza shooter thing they had. I would like all that stuff.
Yeah,
I would definitely do that. I did thought about Pokemon cards. I don't ever play Pokemon like cards, but I know like they go for a lot of money now.
Dude,
I don't know why, but they do.
I had in like 5th and 6th and 7th grade, like I sold them and bought a PS2, but I'm like, I really wish I'd have kept them, and my parents would have just bought me a PS2 because I'm like that. They're worth so much money now. Like, and seeing like how much money stuff is worth, I'm like, man, I had that. Man, I had that. Man, I had that. Like
that was her thing back then. Like if you wanted something, if your parents weren't going to buy it, you had to trade it in.
Yeah,
to get it.
And I had, and then mine was in a nice like big binder. Full my, I was literally 10 when it started coming on here, so I was heavily invested in Pokemon. But my collectible, I have 1 or 2 like realistic ones and one that's like way out there.
Okay.
So my realistic ones, I would want either the Green Ranger suit with the Dragon Dagger, like a life-size suit, or the White Ranger suit with Saba, which I had both of those as kids, and my parents threw them away. Now I see like they're worth like a couple $100 a piece. I'm like, so
those are some pretty. Those pretty.
Yeah, I ain't arguing.
My unrealistic one is I want the airplane from SWAT Cats.
That was such a great
the actual jet.
Cartoon. Yeah, I want the actual jet.
Not a replica or a toy. You want
no, I want the actual.
You want the actual jet, so you can just fly to work.
Money's not an option. I want the actual jet.
Yeah, that was a great cartoon. By the way, and that was Cartoon Network too.
Yeah.
I was thinking a little more realistically than that, but okay.
Well, I gave you more realistic ones. I said one is out there.
Oh man, he said a fictional jet.
Yes. It was dope.
Hey, don't get me wrong. SWAT Cats was dope. So yeah, I agree. But oh man, my list is a little more pedestrian in comparison.
My first ones were pedestrian compared to it.
Yeah. So for my list, I got one for pretty much every nerd, almost every nerd area that we cover. One, a box collection of all of the Hajime no Ippo mangas signed by George Morikawa.
That would be dope.
That'd be dope. Mint inbox copy of Mike Tyson's Punch-Out signed by Mike Tyson.
Which we tried to get signed last year.
I did try to get my not inbox, not mint condition copy signed by Mike Tyson, but he didn't show up.
And we were very upset. We drove 3 hours for that. But anyways.
Oh, yeah, I was there.
Yeah, you was. Yeah, we were mad.
They were blanking out, and I was like, oh, yeah, I was there.
We drove to that.
Yeah.
But we got to see Uncle Ruckus.
Yeah. We did. He lost a lot of weight.
Yeah.
It looks good.
But I still remember him as Flame from Soul Plane. But
oh, my.
A mint condition New Mutants 98, which for those that don't know is the first appearance of Deadpool, signed by both Rob Liefeld, the creator of Deadpool, and Ryan Reynolds.
That would be dope.
All right.
A fully authentic Wing Eagle.
I was sitting here thinking that
wrestling
the
belt.
Wing Eagle would be so dope to have. Yeah,
an authentic one. I don't want a replica. I want 1-to-1 copy. Exactly what they had. I want, not a replica.
Right.
Yeah.
And last is I want Marisa from Street Fighter 6 statue signed by my favorite FGC players.
Okay.
Which that's kind of realistic if I just find me a Marissa statue.
Ride on?
No.
You want him to sign it?
No.
I know.
I'm surprised you didn't do the Bret Hart glasses.
I was like, I like Bret Hart, don't get me wrong, but I never was a huge, like, I wanted the glasses, of course. What kid didn't?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not at the top of my list of things. Like, I'd take like a Sting baseball bat over Bret Hart sunglasses.
Okay.
I would like an authentic Ric Flair robe signed by Ric Flair.
That would be great.
Yeah.
That first of all, that would be like $7,000. But I would like that.
Yeah, that would be dope.
Yeah.
Or a hat signed by the Undertaker, one of his hats.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. What else would be dope to have? The full collection of One Piece.
Signed by Oda.
Ichiro Oda.
Yeah.
Goda.
Going off your Power Rangers thing, since I only watched the original Power Rangers helmets, each of them signed by each of the actors, which is technically impossible now
R.I.P.
since
Tommy.
2 of them are gone now.
Since 2 of them are gone.
Yeah, R.I.P. Tommy and R.I.P.
Trini.
I do have Jason's autograph though, and I got a picture with Jason.
Oh, really?
I did. Yeah, back when Steel City Con was fun to go to back in the day, but I did meet. He's short,
Austin
by the
St.
way.
Pierre.
Green.
Also St. John.
Oh, St. John. Where did I get St. Pierre from?
I don't know.
George St. Pierre.
GSP.
Okay, yeah.
But no,
yeah.
he's very
Austin
short.
Yeah.
Or I always forget that I'm big. I keep forgetting that.
Black. Oh my God. Zach only had 4 fingers.
Yes, I did know that. And whoever was cutting his hair, oh my God.
Oh my God.
Don't you ever pick up a clippers ever again.
He got into it with somebody about that on Twitter one day, and it was like hilarious. Like they was like talking about this hairline, and they was like going back and forth. And I was like, "This is great."
But I had a chance to meet Jason David Frank. I never got to meet him, but he did come to Steel City Con. But this is when it started getting out of control.
I wish I would have met him. He was
here.
He was always my favorite. I mean, you see, I got the Green Ranger and the White Ranger suit. Like I always wanted to be Tommy. I didn't care.
Didn't care about anyone else.
I was always, you know what I mean?
I know our friend Derek. I know Derek got to meet him.
Yeah.
Because Derek goes every time. But yeah. So I wish I would have went to go see him though.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah. And he was in Family Matters. The one episode, it was towards the end when it was that real ridiculous with that Bruce Lee stuff.
I never really watched Family Matters.
I know you hated that show for some reason.
Yeah.
But he was one of the thugs that Urkel beat up when he turned into Bruce Lee. I was like, it's Jason David Frank. But other than that, yeah.
After the episode where Waldo went to dance class to learn to play basketball, I was like, I can't do this. I can't do this show. And he went to ballet to learn to play basketball. I was like, those things don't correlate.
Still love that show. Still love the show.
It made no sense. So,
but I'm trying to think, yeah.
That'd be dope. Yeah, I can't think of anything else. Definitely some Pokemon cards, but I'll take an authentic version of the Yu-Gi-Oh chain. The big yeah, solid gold.
That's cool, yeah.
That's all I got.
That's all I got. I gave my list.
Actually, this will be impossible too because I think they're all dead except for one. I actually would have liked to get a football signed by the Steel Curtain, like the front 4. But I think only me and Joe Green's left. I think the other ones are all gone.
Oh, pretty good.
That might still exist though.
Yeah, true. I'm sure they had signed that somewhere, but but someone most likely has that.
Oh yeah.
But and I would like to get something signed by Paul Amalu.
Absolutely.
Paul Amalu and James Ferrier.
And dude, all the people that came in the Foot Locker, like I got Big Ben's signature, Mike Wallace, I had Jerome Bettis's. Paul Amalu I never got, and I'm kind of like upset about that. But like he came in, and it was like he was like the nicest dude ever. But he like grabbed like a handful of the shirts off the rack and just bought them all and then left.
Oh really?
And he was just like so quiet. I was like I didn't want to bother him.
Right.
So